This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
The best defense is a good offense. So before the sewer backs up into your home and wreaks havoc, stop freaking and call Beacon. Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical is there for you when you need them most. 1-800-FREAKIN or beaconplumbing.net.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back, legally, on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
This is The Mighty Rock, starring BJ and Migs. Mornings.
Because, hey, at least once a day, you should experience a BJ.
You know, I'm ready for my BJ.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. You know, you can listen to us on the Odyssey app. You don't know about the Odyssey app? Well, look, it's a place where you get us. Also, you can check out Odyssey exclusive stations that are curated for listeners just like you.
Oh, yes. One even curated by the members of Korn. It's called Korn's Requiem in honor of, and the members of Korn, they put this station together to help to honor their favorite artists. Some of them have passed away, like members of Slipknot, Soundgarden, AC/DC, Pantera, Jimi Hendrix, a bunch of other bands as well. So if you're a fan of Korn, also check out their new album, Requiem, which is available now.
And they got lots more Odyssey stations for you to check out. They are pretty awesome. And all you have to do is just download the Odyssey app to get all the audio that matters to you. That's AUDACY, Odyssey.
Let's play B Migs. It's time to play the game.
Yeah!
So everybody scream his name. B Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa! B Migs, you're a loser.
It is time for B Migs. And it's Tuesday, so let's turn down for tentacles.
Turns out for what? Release the Kraken.
Yeah, and I'm happy that I had a fancy dinner and I missed the Kraken game.
Well, they turned down for playing defense.
Yeah. I remember getting out of dinner and saying, you know what, maybe I can catch the end of the game. And then I saw the score and I was like, I can go to bed early. There's no problem here with that. Yeah. So hopefully Thursday will be a better game.
It will be. They're going to crush the Jets.
Yay! How are the Jets doing? Well, it doesn't matter because, like BJ said, man, it's like we're good against good, we're bad against good, we're bad against bad. It doesn't matter.
I mean,
you can just watch the game, have fun, and hope.
I guess if you put it that. I mean, the Jets are definitely better. They're just, they're around like a 500 team, but we're not even close to that.
We're not. No.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens.
A well below 500 team.
Yeah, we are.
We'll see what happens on Thursday then. But we got our game now. We've got Michael and Everett. Michael, are you there?
Yes.
Excellent. All right, Steve, get out of here. Get out! For those playing at home, Michael will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Michael, you can pass all you want, but you'll only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Nice. Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman starred in the early 90s movie titled Days of What?
Thunder.
Yes. Shrimp on the Barbie is a seafood dish with origins in what country?
Australia.
Yes. Beginning with C, what is the real first name of Chevy Chase?
Charles.
No.
Chris.
No.
Pass.
What color was the Lance Armstrong Livestrong bracelet?
Yellow.
Yes. Who plays Julia in the Horrible Bosses movies?
Pass.
The zodiac sign Pisces
Jennifer Aniston.
Yes. The zodiac sign Pisces refers to what animal?
Fish.
Yes. WAP by Cardi B featured what other hip-hop artist?
Megan Thee Stallion.
Yes. What is the point value of the letter K in Scrabble?
10,
No.
5,
Yes. Finish the title of the Jane Seymour TV show, Dr. Quinn what?
pass.
Algeria is located on which continent?
Africa?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Correct.
You know what? I love the fact Michael's in his 20s. There's no way he's getting Dr. Quinn.
No.
There's no way in hell.
And you sounded so sad.
Even I know that one. That's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you know
I
that?
think my mom used to watch it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you
fair
know,
enough.
you're almost 10 years older than this dude, Dan.
I know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's,
He still
it's
did
a whole-
great, though.
I mean, he's a whole generation away from you, pretty much, Danny.
That's fine.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know how to tell you this, Danny, but you know what? You're not as young as you used to think.
That's true.
Yeah, I hate to say
Ain't
it.
it the truth? My back hurts.
That's it.
Old man wearing your wallet chain.
Yeah. So true, man. I mean, look, wallet chains have been around long. I mean, Danny's old.
Yep.
Only old people wear them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Young people wear belts and wallets with no chain.
And don't forget the fanny packs. Young people are wearing those now.
That's right. Or wrestlers from the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to put your money somewhere. You ready, Steve?
Yes.
Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman starred in the early 90s movie titled Days of What?
Thunder.
Yes. Shrimp on the Barbie is a seafood dish with origins in what country?
Australia.
Yes. Beginning with C, what is the real first name of Chevy Chase?
Can't say that on the radio.
No.
Oh. That's
Oh,
a
boy.
nickname. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Isn't it Cornelius?
Wow, yes. What
Nice.
color was the Lance Armstrong Livestrong bracelets?
Yellow.
Yes. Brother. Who plays Julia in the Horrible Bosses movies?
Is that Jennifer Aniston?
Yes. The zodiac sign Pisces refers to what animal?
Fish.
Yes. WAP by Cardi B featured what other hip-hop artist?
Megan Thee Stallion.
Yes. What is the point value of the letter K in Scrabble?
1,000.
No.
10.
No.
5.
Yes. Finish the title of the Jane Seymour TV show, Dr. Quinn what?
Medicine woman.
Wow, yes. Algeria is located on which continent?
Africa.
Yes, and Steve. Perfect 10! And you win!
Yeah, baby.
Damn, sorry, Michael. I thought you did really good there.
Good job, Steven.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah.
Good job, Steven.
Yeah, I don't blame him. That's what I would call him. Steven.
Since they changed our email servers, that's what it says in my email
I
now.
know, it's so weird. I don't.
It's so weird.
I'm like, who is this person sending me emails? Oh, it's
Stephen Miggs.
Steven. He's kind of like the Newman now. Steven.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All I do is there we go.
Is that all you do?
That's right. Everyone's in here dancing.
Oh, yeah. I'm not
BJ's
dancing.
Yeah, BJ's not.
No.
Medicine
Rigged.
woman.
It was rigged.
It was not rigged.
Completely rigged.
I mean, I got lucky on 2 of them. That's for
You
sure.
got really-
5
yeah.
and Africa.
Well, and I didn't even know that, like, you knew Cornelius. Like, I thought that was going to be one that nobody got.
I wouldn't have got it. That's, I mean, he deserves a win for that.
I'll never forget it. I remember when I first found it out, I'm like, that is a ridiculous name for him.
It absolutely is. It's a little
Cornelius
corny.
is an awesome name, but
It
it's like
is.
so wicked old school.
But it doesn't fit Chevy Chase.
No.
It's
Well, though sometimes a Cornelius can be a big a-hole. Like, I feel like it's a stuffy a-hole from back in the day, so maybe it does fit him.
You know, all the people named Cornelius that listen to our show are very upset with you.
I think in
well.
Community, his dad's name, Chevy Chase's dad's name is Cornelius.
Really? Community.
I think so.
Oh, how
When he
cool is
comes-
that?
Huh, wow.
So I think that's kind of like maybe like some weird like.
Do you think?
Shout out.
I'm just wondering. Like, I know he's called Chevy, but like as a little kid, was he like called Little Corny or anything like that?
Little corny.
That's why he's such a jerk.
It may be. Maybe he was taunted
You
for his
know?
name.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
wish.
Cornhole, get over here.
Yeah.
Hey, little cornhole.
Wow, little cornhole. Well, no wonder he changed it to Chevy at that point.
Congratulations on your perfect game, Steve.
Man, someday if we ever get a chance to talk to, if we're really on a super cool, chill, friendly basis with Joel McHale. I mean, every time we have him on, he's really good to us, and of course he's from this area. But I really would love to get the inside scoop. You know, it's like, is he really hard to work with just because he's like an old school kind of guy that wants things perfect and gets all mad when they're not, or is he really a jerk? Because
Joel McHale is a jerk. Yeah, I think we can confirm that. We don't have to ask him if he was.
of course, we're talking. We'd ask Joel about Chevy Chase. Because Steve, you and I are old enough where we worked in radio, where I feel like we could really, pretty much a lot of people we work with could be called Chevy Chase. I know I could be called Chevy Chase by some of the people that worked with me all those years ago, because I just feel like I don't know, man. In the entertainment business, people were just they had a short fuse, lots of stress.
But that's why you got to wonder about a guy like him, because you're right. In the sea of a-holes, for some reason, he's considered to be the biggest a-hole.
You're right.
So I mean, that makes you just have to think.
Yeah,
he's gone above and beyond his a-hole duties.
Yeah, that's a good question. Is he really that bad, or did he just, did he not get the memo that you can't be an a-hole anymore as he's working with younger actors? But he seems to have had this label forever. So he might have gone over the top, like you said. He might have been the biggest a-hole, which, that should be a show. You are the biggest a-hole.
And I guess he says, he freely admits that he has a tendency to say the wrong thing at the absolute wrong time, cracking jokes about people, including like people's family members that have died, and he would say things that were like inappropriate, not realizing that maybe he just crossed the line.
Wow. So has he got some sort of like brain thing where he doesn't get that that's not cool? Man, I mean, I could see you calling someone an a-hole if you're making fun of somebody's dead family member, especially if they're like in the crew and you're making skillions and, you're the cameraman's just making whatever, the wage, and then you're making fun of the cameraman's dead relative.
And there are a lot of interviews with Joel McHale out there about him talking a lot of not good things about Chevy Chase, too. So.
Oh, I know. So they are out there.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because Joel strikes me as a diplomatic kind of guy, but I didn't realize that he was also on the bandwagon with the interviews. All right, well, we can ask him then. All right, good. I'm excited.
Hey, Joel, we love you and all, but we want to ask you some serious questions.
We want to ask you some questions about Chevy being an a-hole.
Yeah, read another one. It was like, I guess he was working with some actor, and he's like, I hear you're gay, right? And the guy's like, yeah, but what do you want to do? What do you want me to do? About something with a role, and then he said, I want you to do a certain sex act to him. Like, he thought that'd be funny. And apparently, like the entire cast were like, yeah, we don't want to talk to Chevy for the rest of the time that he's here because he's just being weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And comments to female colleagues as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's what I'm saying, man. Like, even Pete Davidson says he's a D-bag. And, D-bag's no D-bag.
Oh, wow. Here we go.
Wow. This is, you know what? We knew it wouldn't be long before Pete Davidson was dragged into this muck. That's nice.
I don't know. I got to start siding with. I'm feeling for Pete Davidson these days. It seems like Kanye's out to get him.
Whoa, yeah.
Kanye's lost his mind. Like he's rapping songs about like I'm coming for you. I'm coming to SNL, and it's just like, dude.
Yeah, why?
Relax.
Did he offer to didn't Kanye offer Michael Che double his salary to get off the show?
Yeah.
And not work with Pete Davidson anymore. And I'm like, what? Why? Would it be? I mean, look.
Well, what do you do? He's doing his ex.
Yeah.
That's exactly the whole reason.
It's not like he's just brand new. He's like, I don't like Pete Davidson. I want to see him get hurt.
I keep forgetting that. Yes.
He's boning his baby mama. He is not happy about it.
I think Kim and Kanye are still married, technically, too.
Oh, man. That's right. Look, I know nothing about Kim Kardashian except just what's out there, but why would you want to get involved in that drama with Kanye? You know what I mean? You got to know that he is not going to be a happy ex. If you remember, when they got together, he said he dreamed of being with her before he was with her. Like it was almost a stalker-like sort of, I knew you were going to be my woman and I was going to come get you. And so he's obsessive when it comes to Kim. So I feel like that he isn't going to be a cordial ex. It's not going to be amiable with Kanye.
What a bittersweet thing for Pete Davidson. Like, yeah, I'm with Kim Kardashian, but I'm also now tied to Kanye unintentionally.
And Kanye is the poster boy for. Oh man, he needs help, but unfortunately, you can't. Until he does something that's just so horrific that he'll be forced to get help. But he needs help. He needs mental help. I mean, this is kind of why Kim left, and here he is, just allowed to run around and be, the way he is, which doesn't seem like a guy that's got some mental health under wraps, under control. I don't think he's got that going on. Wow. And I don't know. I heard Michael Che had a pretty funny response about, when he said, I'll double your salary if you leave that show. And it's like, why? I don't even know how much Michael Che works with Pete Davidson. Every once in a while he shows up on Weekend Update, but I don't know. I mean, you make that offer to Colin Jost maybe because, he's his partner on Weekend Update, but I don't know.
And someone said that you see that Kanye just broke up with his new girlfriend and sent Kim a truckload of roses yesterday.
Yeah,
I did read that as well.
A truckload of roses.
I guess Kim's like, hey, can you just tell your fans to leave, to not try and be weird around Pete? And I guess he shared that screenshot. The whole thing is just stupid. It's like he's in high school.
Oh. God, I know, but he's not. You know,
That's true. He's a grown man.
Yeah.
Last I checked.
Yeah, I don't think he is.
Wow. You know, it just goes to show you, I don't care how much money you have, man. It doesn't necessarily buy sanity. You know, they say happiness, but we know money doesn't buy sanity. That's for sure. Oh, man.
You know he's crazy for me to be like, I'm concerned for Pete Davidson.
Yeah, that's when... I know, right? That's when Kanye's gone over the line. You're absolutely right. That's when you're like, oh, okay, even Steve is not on your side.
Kanye's gone too far. There's a guy in Seattle that has absolutely despised Pete Davidson for years, is now all of a sudden starting to feel for him because of it.
Yeah.
You've hit rock bottom.
If the worst, if the biggest Pete Davidson hater is not on your side on this, Kanye, you might need to really back down. Hey, this sounds like the plot for that 80s movie, The Bodyguard, as an Oregon woman fell in love her actual bodyguard. And you're going to hear from her at 7:17 on The Rock.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
A burst pipe at 3 a.m. is a bad way to start the day. A cold shower in November isn't invigorating. So before you start freaking, call Beacon. Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical is just one call away 24 hours a day. 1-800-FREAKIN or beaconplumbing.net.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
This is BJ and Migs mornings on The Rock 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Just because yesterday was Valentine's Day doesn't mean the true love stories stop. Oh, no. There's an Oregon woman who hired a bodyguard to protect herself from an abusive ex, which, I mean, that sucks that she had to go do that. But turned out to be fantastic because she ended up falling in love with her new employee. Yeah, she fell in love with the bodyguard, and here's Elise talking about how she fell in love with her then bodyguard, now husband, Derek.
We fell in love 13 years ago when I hired him as my bodyguard after a violent relationship. Falling in love with your bodyguard is like a daydream. My bodyguard made me feel protected and loved.
I don't know why I'm picturing him as he looks like Kevin Costner.
Of course, yeah.
Right. I'm sure he looks nothing like Kevin Costner, but for some reason in my head, that's exactly who he looks like.
Wow. Man, you know, to be in the situation that she was in and to have a 13-year good relationship going, that after all that's awesome. You know, I mean, that sucks that you have to hire a bodyguard because, you know, a person you were with before is that much of a jerk.
Very true. On a lighthearted side, though, if you can find some lighthearted, obviously a terrible story, but like you meet somebody like, hey, how'd you two meet? I hired him. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
You know, like until you tell like the rest of the story, the headline would be very misleading. Oh, yeah, I hired this guy to be with me.
It's kind of cool, man. It's like, you know, there's a story about two British friends here who are now a couple after the woman helped bring her friend back to life by performing CPR on him when he went into cardiac arrest. And here's Steve talking about what it meant to him when Emma saved his life.
Somebody literally gave their breath to make you live. Somebody cared enough to save my life. But a thank you isn't enough. So I'm getting a bit emotional.
He's very dramatic. He sounds like Liam Neeson or something.
He really does, man. Oh, yeah.
A thank you isn't enough, but a wedding ring is.
Yeah.
I felt her lips on my mouth, and she breathed life into me.
Yeah. It's like that's right out of Bob Hart's Abishola, right? Wasn't he like his nurse, and then they ended up being a couple on that TV show?
I have never seen an episode of that show.
Oh,
but at first it took me a second. I'm like, what are you saying? And then
yeah, it's the one with Billy Gardell.
Yes. Yes. We were going to try and watch it, but the first season you had to like purchase episodes in order to see it. So we're like, that.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I was like, you couldn't just watch them.
Yeah, and I, of course, decided, why watch the show from the beginning? I just turned it on the other day, and obviously there's a lot that's happened in their relationship, and I'm like, oh, this is still kind of a fun concept. But I think that she was his nurse and saved his life and, or at least helped him nurse back to health. And then they became a couple, which, that Florence Nightingale thing, that's a thing.
Well, you got to think, like, these are two stories of, like, you always say when someone's, like, single, like, you don't know when you're going to find the person. It'll just happen. Like, you can't force it. And, like, these are great examples of that. Like, I'm sure neither one of those were thinking, like, this is going to be the moment that leads to me being in a relationship with my, person I'm going to be with for a very long time, if not forever.
It's the lukewarm topic of the day.
So based on these two odd stories of couples getting together, we want to know, how about you? Tell us about the strange way that you ended up with your significant other. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Tell us about the strange ways that you ended up with your significant other. We got your calls and texts after Rage on The Rock.
It's the lukewarm topic of the day.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. So there's two cool stories of couples getting together. One woman, she hired a bodyguard because she was, had an abusive ex. Turns out she married that bodyguard, been in a relationship with 13 years. And then this other British couple, this dude was brought back to life via CPR by his now significant other. So very odd ways to meet somebody, the love of your life. And we're wondering, what strange way did you end up with your significant other? 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
Oh, this one's a good one. Back when Craigslist had casual encounters, I met a girl for a booty call.
Oh.
And it turned into a 5-year relationship. My family still asks whatever happened to her. And, of course, they don't know that I met her on a place like Casual Encounters. Do you remember that?
Yes. I loved those.
I loved reading them.
Yeah. So
they were the best. Craigslist was like, that was the best reading material ever.
Yep.
I can't remember what it was called. Like I met you once, or I met you and I'm trying to misconnections.
Misconnections, yep.
Yeah, that was a good one. And then just the straight up ones that were just looking for dates. Like some of the things that they would say were just so out there.
Did you ever know anyone that got featured in a misconnection?
Not that I can remember. I always was wondering if I would be on there, and I never was.
No, I never was either.
Yeah.
But one time I was working for the radio station, and the guy that I was working with, they were like, "Hey, the radio station guy," and I was like, "It's gonna be me!" And I click it, and it was like your long flowing hair, and I was like, "Oh, damn it, Zach!
I'm sorry, buddy.
Damn it, Zach!"
Yeah. Zach gets all the ladies.
Oh, Zach. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. We want to know the strange way that you ended up with your significant other. Let's go to Steve O in Spokane. I didn't know Steve O was in Spokane. Steve O, congratulations, by the way, on the Jackass movie.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. There you go. Anyway, Steve O, or would you like to be called? I know you're trying to change your name to Steve, like your real name. So what do you got for us, Steve O? What about the weird way you met your significant other?
So I was her FedEx delivery guy.
Oh, right on.
Was it like right out of a Penthouse forum? Is that, when you
these are the thumbnails I always click on.
What happened?
So I drove for FedEx for about 6 months, and I was on several different routes, and wound up sticking with the one that landed where she worked. And we'd always kind of flirt and hang out while I was delivering. And then I was, quote unquote, her FedEx boyfriend before we really knew each other. I drove with coworkers and stuff. And, I wound up getting her number one day and then, found out that we both grew up in Marysville.
Damn. And you guys still together?
And, 3 years later, we have a beautiful blended family, 5 children total. And we got married just this last summer.
Oh, good for you, dude. Wow, 5 children. You know what? Congratulations to you. You're a better man than me. I don't know if I could do that. 5 kids is a lot.
Sounds like 4 too many for me.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
It is a lot of kids.
That is a lot of kids. And again, you just get them. They just show up because it's a blended family.
Show up.
That's how it is. It's like you don't have time to get used to the idea and maybe figure it out. It's like there they are. Boom. You go, holy cow! All right. Well, you know what? That's why he's a better man than me. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Tell us about the strange way that you ended up with your significant other.
Someone just texted and said, I met my wife on a cheating website. I was married and bored. I paid $2.49 for a 3-day membership. Someone hacked into her Facebook account, created a profile for her on the same site. I messaged her, and the rest is history. It was the best $2.49 I've ever spent.
This whole story is disturbing.
It's very wrong.
On every level,
but it ended
it's
on
disturbing.
such a happy note, though.
Yeah,
See, romance
man.
is not dead, BJ.
Get on cheating websites.
This is like a Disney movie waiting to be made.
I would
Or
be.
Hallmark.
I would always be afraid of the fact that, okay, you were a cheater, which means you could cheat again. Like, in other words, you were bored with your first wife. When are you going to get bored with me? That's what I would think when I would be entering in a relationship with anybody like that. Because we had a friend of ours of the family, and eventually, I mean, it was a really uncomfortable conversation that they asked my opinion. They really shouldn't have done it. And it was like, I don't know. I'm not too sure he's really, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's a good husband. Maybe he's not. And I go, well, I mean, you stole him from his other wife. What do you think is going to possibly happen? Chances are someone may steal him away from you. And I remember I was never invited back.
That's not usually the way to talk about things. Even if it's true.
It is true. I'm sorry. Don't talk to me then. Especially when you're going, I don't know. I don't think he's really being a good husband right now. I'm like, he's shown that he's not a good husband because he left the other one. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
No, sometimes, maybe this is the right person. He found out on the cheating website, and it just so happened.
Yeah, and then she's got the right friends that hack into her Facebook account. This is all just.
But that also is a very odd part of it all. Like, who hacked into her Facebook account and set her up for a cheating website?
I know. I mean,
someone who probably didn't like her.
Yeah, I know. That's. Oh yeah, that's a good point, Steve. I hadn't even thought about that. Like, you're on the Homewrecker website.
Someone texted said I was dating a woman. I met her sister, and the rest is history.
Oh, that's a tough one. That really is a tough one. I mean, you hope the sister didn't care, like realize, oh yeah, we weren't meant to be together, and then all of a sudden, hey, but this is really cool that I help you. I help my sister find her true love, or it could be just, I hate all of you.
So I forgot about this. It said, back when it was a thing to poke people on Facebook, I had a mutual friend that I was friends with, and I poked her every day until she went on a date with me.
Oh, gosh.
If that's the case, there's a guy named Brandon that I should be dating right now. He's poked me over.
Is he still poke? Can you still poke people?
I'm checking.
Yeah, he's poked me over 130 times.
Oh, you guys are meant to be.
Yeah, but I poke him back, figuring
Why do you poke him back?
Because I feel like it's the easiest way to communicate.
At this
point. Yeah, I mean, you get a poke and you realize, all right, well, the guy, I'll poke back, and I figured that would be it. That's what happened. You get a poke and you go, I don't know what this is, but I guess if I poke back, they'll at least know I care or I saw it. And then the poking never stops. It's like 130 times in a row.
Well, you opened the door to allow him to poke you.
But he poked me first.
Yeah, but you returned the favor.
Well, that's why. What else are you supposed to do with the poke?
Just let it sit there.
But then why is it there in the first place?
I don't know, but if some dude pokes me, I'm not poking him back.
BJ can't be. He has to be the last poker.
He has to reply. He gets the last word in.
Yeah, he's got to get the last poke in there.
It's a lot easier than talking to, even texting somebody or messaging somebody. I felt like maybe this is just a way that us dudes would be like, hey, how you doing? What's
like
up?
A nod?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Well,
but
if you
not
just
everybody's
stop
doing
nodding, he won't be able to poke you back.
But what if he doesn't? What if he doesn't like me anymore and thinks I'm a jerk because I stopped poking?
You can't poke anymore.
You are overthinking poking,
yeah.
man.
I mean, if someone said, hey, I don't want to be your friend anymore because you never poked me back, I'd be like, you know what? That's probably for the best that we're not friends. Because that's the stupidest reason I've ever heard.
But then, why Facebook? Take it off. They do us all a favor and get rid of it.
I don't know why they thought that was even a good idea.
Yeah, and it's still around. There's still.
Wait, no,
yeah.
apparently, yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it's hidden, though. You have to search for it, and there's a hidden poke page.
Oh, well, I get
Google
notifications. I mean, it's in my. I get notified. Oh, Slappy poked you again. Oh, yeah. That's how I know.
Search for friends to poke. BJ.
Go ahead, poke. Go ahead and poke somebody, and you'll see. You know what? And it'll show up in your notifications.
How are you poking me?
I just poked BJ.
I'm right here.
All right, listen, Rev, poke Steve so he'll see it in his notifications.
Why are people poking me?
Oh, I can't. You don't have poke. It just says I can message you.
Yeah,
what? There's no
you're not
pokeability?
pokeable.
Oh, I made it so that you can't poke me. I'm a married man.
Oh,
nope,
wow.
just poked you.
Somebody tell me.
Danny, you've already poked him, so now you can only message him because he hasn't poked you back.
I've never poked you back.
I'm the OG poker.
That's what it is.
And I probably saw that one time. I was like, why is Danny poking me?
So how about you, hypocrite Danny? You are giving me grief, and you poked Steve a long time ago.
That's the first time I've been poked since 2019.
Well, listen, I don't want to bring this up on the air, Steve. You maybe should talk to a counselor about that. We got to talk to Derek in Tacoma. Derek, you are on the Rock.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hi, Derek. What was the strange way that you ended up with your significant other?
So basically, back in 2006, I was deployed in Iraq, and I saw that my wife looked at my online dating profile, but never sent me any messages or anything. So I sent her a message and said, hey, what's up? I saw you saw me. You didn't send me any messages. And she was like, well, I saw you were single. You're young, and I have 2 kids, so I didn't want to waste your time or anything like that. And I was like, that doesn't matter to me. We started talking online for about 6 months, and then when I got back from Iraq and went home on leave, she was actually 15 minutes from my parents' house. So we met in person the first time, and a week later, we actually got married. What? And 14 years later, we're still married. 4 kids.
Damn. You guys must have really hit it off online for you to go, hey, in 2 weeks later, we're doing this.
Absolutely. Basically, every night, every chance I got, I went to the call center that was set up in various locations and spent pretty much all my free time chatting via internet and live on the phone.
And
so,
Derek,
yeah, we had a real deep connection before we actually physically met for the first time.
Did you guys ever poke on Facebook?
Oh, yeah, that's important. Yeah.
We poked all the time. It was nonstop poking.
Yeah. That's what Danny and Rev and I are doing right now.
Yeah, can't talk poking.
Yeah, see, now, you know what? Look what I started over here. Derek, I have to ask, because initially you were like, the 2 kids don't bother me. Sometimes that is an issue for folks. Why was that not an issue for you with a person that you didn't even know? Because sometimes it's hard to get by that with somebody you don't know. Had you met her, saw in a bar, you guys hit it off, and then she told you, I could see you going, well, she's cool, I'll deal. But you didn't even know her. You actually sought her out, and she was like, well, I didn't want to. What made you go, I don't care about the 2 kids?
For sure. Well, the thing was, my parents split at a real young age, and luckily, my stepmother took me and my sister in, like we were part of her children, and I already had that mentality that even if someone has kids of their own, doesn't mean you need to treat them any different from your own. And I've actually ended up adopting both of her children.
How cool was that, though, man?
My kids now.
That is really cool that you were able to figure that out. You know, and somehow you might, I mean, you sensed the fact you reached out to a woman that didn't even bother talking to you, and you were like, which is pretty aggressive, with the online thing, because usually if a woman was interested, she'll say something, and it turns out, or poke you,
absolutely.
And it turns out she just didn't want to waste your time, and it was like, no, you don't understand, I'm the perfect guy for you because I'm all about, taking in kids, because I was taken in like that. Man, good for you, dude. Congratulations. That's a hell of a story. I wouldn't be that bold. I don't know if I could be that bold to ask somebody who I know saw my profile. My brain would go, well, they would say something if they don't want anything to do with me.
And hence why the poking feature is there now.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the only one poking me is this guy, Brandon.
Well, now we all poked you.
Yeah, so I poked you.
Enjoy that.
Did you all really poke
Danny
me?
back for the first time since 2016.
Yeah.
You poked me, too. This is fun.
You guys understand what you
about
got
poking
into.
back people who poked me in 2014, and that way to get Steve just poked you back. And like, when did I poke Steve?
All right,
Sarah
I
just
have a
messaged
prediction.
me too and was like, I just poked some random person who poked me back in 2016 because I was trying to poke you back.
Oh boy, you better let Johnny Roberts know that before it gets weird.
Yeah,
here we go. Now Danny's like, oh, the person, look at Danny sliding into my poke DMs. This is good. So here's what I want to know: out of the 3 of you, you don't understand what you've created here.
Why?
I will get the last poke. I've been doing this with this guy, Brandon, for like, I don't know how long, 130 times. Which one of you will give up first? I think Steve won't poke me back.
I haven't even poked you. I'm not poking you just for that reason.
So it's just Danny and Rev that have poked me?
Yeah,
well, all right, Danny and Rev, you're not going to get the last poke, which means you're now stuck in this poke loop. Congratulations.
All right. I've spent 16 years annoying you. I think I can continue it with just
okay. Look at this.
Yeah.
I look at it this way. I've already won. You all laughed at me and go, "Why are you even poking?" And now you 2 morons, because Steve is smarter than this. He doesn't give any attention. You 2 morons are now going to be caught in poke world, all because of this. Aha! I won today.
Yeah, my poking spree's already over.
I know you stopped poking me back. I'm very sad.
I lost the page, and I'm not going back to it.
I'm just going to physically start poking you.
Yeah.
Oh, best
I'll punch you. I'll Facebook punch you if you do that.
Yeah. So awesome. I love this. This is the best day of my life. I win whether they stop or don't stop poking me. I win.
Woo! Man, if you just tuned in, this is a very weird conversation.
Yeah. Oh, it surely is. And it's going to get a little weirder as we are going to tell you about a woman that's actually able to breastfeed through her armpit.
Nice.
What? Oh, yeah, this is a quality program right here. You're going to hear from her at 7:49 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. I have lots of tickets that I haven't paid. Can those be discharged through a bankruptcy?
Yes, there are some limits on what we can do with tickets. Tickets cannot be discharged in a full bankruptcy. In a Chapter 7 case, that won't help you get your license back. But in Chapter 13 reorganization, tickets are dischargeable. Most types of tickets are dischargeable. So you would have to pay back some of the tickets in a Chapter 13 case, but the vast majority of them could be discharged if you complete the plan. And again, you would get your license back right away when you filed the Chapter 13 case, as long as the only reason you don't have your license is because of failure to pay your tickets. But the Chapter 13 process will help you get your license back and repay a small portion of your tickets in most cases and get your license reinstated almost immediately.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.